Hey guys, me and Wade here, back with another Borderlands video, and today is day 3 of the hunt. So I've really enjoyed doing today, and this is another highlight video of my progress. So we'll start off doing exactly what I did on day 2, which is sorting out all my gear, getting rid of everything from day 2 so I can pretty much start fresh and get straight to it. I don't really have a strategy today, but I kind of do it at the same time. So my plan is, now I've done the base game, is to go into Mayhem Mode and start farming for the bigger guns and rarer guns. So as you can see, I've sorted out my gear and I've kept the shotgun, well, sledge shotgun and the night flyer. I've then changed to Mayhem 11 because my thinking at this point is I want some half decent Mayhem 10 guns, but my current gear isn't going to hack it. So that's why I had the brainwave to go and do an arms race, possibly get some more points and definitely get some better gear that's Mayhem 10, and will make it easier for me to farm on Mayhem 1 or Mayhem 4. So that's sort of my general plan at the moment. So we'll get straight into this arms race and gear up for it. Now we are in Mayhem mode, we can't come out of it, so I can jump between Mayhem, like I can go from Mayhem 11 to Mayhem 1, but I can't go from like Mayhem 11 to normal mode. I have to be in Mayhem mode from this point onwards. So I did the Plunder Dome loot room, and at the first chest I didn't get anything. We'll see if we're lucky in the second chest. I was lucky in this chest because I managed to get the lob, which doesn't count for points, and it won't count for points even if I extract it, because that needs to be farmed from Graveward. But this gun did help me out during this arms race run, because I was able to do a decent amount of damage and it just got me through it quite nicely. As you can see, it's just wiping them out. So I got this loot room done. I didn't get anything out of the chest though, which is a bit of a shame. So still going for points. So I cleared out this airdrop, trying to get some gear and points and everything. And as you can see, the lob is still cutting it quite nicely, but I can see ammo is going to be an issue very shortly. Fortunately, out of these chests, I did get a legendary drop, and it was a Hotfoot Teddy, and I haven't got that yet. So if I extract it, that will be points. I then went to do the Skag and Spider Ant loot room. This Malawan blaster sort of took over my primary gun during this arms race when the lob ran out of ammo. As you can see, this was cutting it quite nicely, so it was a good replacement. Managed to get a backham, so that's not too bad, and I could use that now and I can use that in later. Also got a Moxxie endowment, I can also use that later if needed. None of them are worth any points though, so there's not a point really extracting them just yet, but if I need better gear, I got options. Up the chests, I've got a critical fog, so that'll be points if I can successfully extract that. I then decided to take on Harker, feeling like, well, it was near the end of the arms race and I felt I had an okay amount of guns, and the lob was doing most of the work for this. As you can see, it just wiped Harker out, so it was very helpful. I then got 2 legendary drops, one being the Res and the other being the Firefly, and these are also guns that I hadn't got points for. So I got level 38 and decided to do some extractions. So I extracted the Firefly, the Res, the Hotfoot Teddy, the critical fog, and then I decided to extract the backham just because I needed a better shield at Mayhem 10 anyway. So once I selected all my gear, I added it all up and got 12 points in total, which I didn't think was too bad. Once we got back to Sanctuary, I decided to put the Night Flyer and the Sledge's shotgun on the wall because I did enjoy using them and I wanted them to be remembered, and selected all my Mayhem 10 gear, and we were ready to do some proper farming, or so I thought. We'll get to that. So I went down to Mayhem 4 at first because my plan was to go to kill Kilovolt, which is that way, not the way I was going. I decided to go up against Baron Noggin just before killing well, going towards kilovolt, to try and get a better class mod. At this point though, I realised that considering I was on Mayhem 4 and I had Mayhem 10 guns, this wasn't really helping me out. Like, Baron Noggin was really taking a beating himself, so this kind of worried me and set off some alarm bells. Like, maybe I was going in a bit premature with this plan. I did successfully kill him, but he didn't drop me anything. We're then in Lectra City, and first thing I went up against was Wick and Warty, so hoping that they would drop me something decent. Warty wasn't too much of a problem, but Wick always does his thing where he's just going all over the place and I can never get hold of him. Literally just teleporting all over the place. My clone managed to track him down though, and we managed to like team up and take him on quite nicely, which wasn't too bad. Eventually I do successfully kill Wick, but he doesn't drop me anything, and at this point I hadn't clocked on that there was another Warty that's come out of nowhere. Luckily my clone pretty much dealt with it, and I got a shocking AAA out of that drop, which is 3 points. Then went on to the one pump chump, where you've got to do the button, the handle, the switch, the wheel and the lever for to actually activate him. The way I remember this is, and it may seem stupid, is big, wacky, lunatics, hate humans. If you do it in that order, you get a big wacky lunatic that seems to hate humans and just don't get one punched by him like I did in this scenario. But that's how I remember the combination to activate One Punch Man. This was the point where I kind of figured my gear wasn't actually doing as much as I wanted to. I had Mayhem 10 gear, but I died, and yeah, I just wasn't cutting it at this point. I wasn't letting him get away with it though. I did come back with a different strategy, which was a case of let my action skills do all the work, and I just run away like a bit of a madman. But yeah, my gear wasn't really cutting it. I wasn't melting these bosses as much as I wanted it to, and I had no idea. I had no strategies. I was really struggling in Lectra City, and it was not working. I got the one punch chump for 3 points, but it wasn't a win. I went straight back to an arms race. Lectra City was doing my head in. It was not being nice to me, and I wasn't cutting it. I wasn't good enough. I needed to level up and get some better gear. So I tried out my luck with an arms race to see if I could get a better gun. I was looking for a plasma coil, but I would have settled with any of the better guns. I soon came across a loot room. This was the easiest loot room, just according to the circle I was dealt at the time. Fortunately for me, I did get a legendary out of this one, and it was a boogeyman. Now boogeyman is a good gun, and I know that will help me out for what I needed to at this point. Cleared another airdrop and did get another legendary from this. It was a dark, not a great gun that I wanted to see, but it is what it is. Managed to find an extraction point to extract my boogeyman for 3 points, so I'll count that now, which is nice and easy. But yeah, we got the duck to carry on the arms race, and fortunately I managed to complete this one, which is always helpful. I did get some legendaries from this, because I managed to get 2 more fireflies, which granted I can't count for points, but hey, I got them. I then went up against Harker. This was a bit of a slog this run. He did drop me another pistol though, which is the trick shot, and I can count that for points. So took a bunch of legendaries, did my adding up. I'd already hunted most of them, but I did get 3 points for the trick shot in this round. So 3 points for the trick shot, 3 points for the boogeyman, and then I just sorted out my gear, put all that Mayhem 10 gear on, and got rid of some of the gear I didn't need, like the 2 fireflies for example. I then went back to Athenas because I thought I'd still do some Mayhem 11 farming to get some Mayhem 10 guns. So I went to the Typhon Dead Drop first in the hope to get some legendaries. Unfortunately it gave me a Super Ball, which isn't what I wanted, but hey, it is what it is. I thought I could farm Tron, because I farmed him in the past, and this was just an absolute slog. It took me ages to get him down to a reasonable amount of health. I wasn't affecting any of even the little soldiers. So yeah, and at this point I was just getting frustrated. I didn't know what was going on. Day 3 was starting to look horrible, and I couldn't get my groove going. So it was a bit of a letdown. Luckily I did manage to beat Tron on a second attempt, like only because I gave my boogeyman to my clone, and my clone pretty much did most of the work using the boogeyman. Tron did drop me some gear, and we'll go for that in just a second. So Tron dropped me a Snowdrift Victory Rush, which is handy for moving around the map, but it's not worth anything. I've got a Bangarang for a corrosive gun, which I didn't think was too bad. Did get an Infiltrator, which I'm not going to use if I'm honest. I've got a Conference Call. Again, it's something I'm going to use, but it's not worth any points. And then I've got a Rectifier. Again, no points, but I just got gear really, but no points from Tron. So he hasn't given me any of his drops at this point. I changed the Mayhem mode and I checked out my skill trees and just to see how I was doing, and sort of just did a rundown on where I am to try and think of what I was going to do. I put it on Mayhem 4 thinking that I could kill Kilovolt and get the Monarch. I went up against Wick and Warty on my way back in because they do have a fair amount of loot pool to drop. I think I need like the black hole and the shotgun, which I can't remember what it's called at this point in time. But yeah, I didn't get anything from these guys this time round. I did, however, go up against, I can't say it, Earlist McForcer. Yeah, I did come across him, and he has got a drop. So, but he took a bit of a beating. I'm not gonna lie. Like, even like this Bangarang I just got from Captain Tron at Mayhem 10, it's still struggling, and I thought this honestly would have made a difference. So yeah, I just wasn't finding my groove. I did eventually kill him, and I got the Recharger, which is worth a valuable 3 points. So we are still getting points, even though at this point in time I am struggling. I'm not speedrunning it. I went up against the High Tower crew and the Judge and all that, using my Conference Call, which was a bit of a blessing at this point. The Judge didn't drop me anything, so I just carried on with the hunt. I did manage to clear out all the crew, and once I'd done it, I realised I'd done all of the targets of opportunity, so I got 5 points for getting the Lyuda from 0, so that's always good. It means I don't have to use that Lyuda from day 1 as my bonus drop, so I can use that on day 5 for something else. Kilovolt was a bit of a slog, I'm not gonna lie. I thought this would be easier. I thought I'd be melting through bosses, but it seems that I need to get to level. I knew I needed to get to level 65, and I needed to do something about my gear. I haven't put the whole Kilovolt fight in the highlights because it was that much of a slog. I was quite lucky, if I'm really honest, because my clone did a lot of the work, and I was able to get up by, well, get a second win by shooting some of the laser flare thingies. So yeah, I did get a drop from Kilovolt. It was the 9 volt, so it wasn't wasted, but I only got 3 points for it, so it is what it is. I was hoping for the Monarch, I didn't get it. I went down to Mayhem 1 and I thought I'd go to the Splinterlands and just regroup. I know there's a lot of bosses in the Splinterlands, so I went up against Phoenix. He did get me down the first time, and it just wasn't going my way. And as you can see, I managed to get a second win by skinning my teeth, shooting frantically with the boogeyman. So that was quite lucky. I did go up again. I did find the duck for no points while fighting DJ Dead Skag. So I took it. I don't know why I took it, because it was Mayhem 1 and everything I've got on me is Mayhem 10, so much better. The trick shot was my go-to gun at this point. Like, that was my hero gun. It really saved me. It was making short work of some of the enemies. Went and started the Just Asserts side mission because I know there's a boss during it where I can get a drop from, and then I quickly did Road Dog. Well, killed Road Dog to see if I could get his red line. Wasn't lucky again this time though, so just carry on for now. During the Just Desserts mission, I thought I'd try my luck again on Princess Tarantella the second. Like, this wasn't much of a fight. Like I said, we're on Mayhem 1 and I've got Mayhem 10 guns, and like the modifier I've got on is Speed Demon, so yeah, this really, I didn't get anything from the big ass spider ant, but it's what it is. So yeah, this is the boss. The Queen Ant is the boss you get from Just Desserts, and it does have a drop, so that's why I did this side mission, because I was regrouping, and it did give me the drop I wanted, which is the Transformer. It's a good shield and it's worth 3 points, so I was quite happy to get that at this point. Well, once I got back to Beatrice to turn in the Just Desserts side mission, I did do a save quit so I could try and do a little bit more farming, try my luck a bit more out, because I wasn't successful the first time round. So I found Road Dog and eventually killed him, which again didn't take too long, but I didn't get the drop that I wanted, so I will be farming him again in the future. Once I cleared out the base, I just thought I'd show you the amount of speed I had. It was ridiculous. Like, while my action skills are active and the speed demon, this is the speed I was running with from this point, so it was making everything easy to farm. As you can see with the snowdrift as well, it's nice and fast. Princess Tartella didn't stand a chance because of the amount of speed I'm just moving at. Then went up against the Phoenix while I was in that same area. The trick shot was obviously helping me out. I did a bit of a better job killing the Phoenix, but yeah, got the Malik Bane from the Phoenix for 3 points, which was a bit of a success, and also got a Rose in Thorns, which is worth no points, but it is what it is. I decided that I was going to do the handsome jackpot because I was having an absolute day of it. I was all over the place. I couldn't find my groove. So I was going to do the handsome jackpot, but before I do that, I was going to go into Mayhem 11 and get some better gear before taking on that DLC. So I applied these changes, had a bit of a brainwave because I saw Moxxie's head pop up in the corner, and I thought, you know what, I might as well give her some tips so I can get the crit, which I'd managed to do, and I got 2 points for getting the crit, so that's a Mayhem 10 gun as well. I then went back into arms race, again wanting some Mayhem 10 gear, and this time I kind of knew I wanted the plasma coil, so it was either the plasma coil or nothing. My first attempt didn't go down well, my luck was just not with me, and my head wasn't in the game. So I did do a lot of fight. I did have some good guns as well. This Theodore gun was doing quite well for me. I got to level 42 and I thought that might have been the run that did it, but again, I just couldn't find my groove and I didn't know what was going on with me. I'm normally really good at arms race and I just couldn't get my grooves. I was having a really bad time of it. Eventually I did have a run where I was a bit more focused and I was getting on it a bit better, and I did eventually unlock this loot room where you can find the Dark Army or the Plasma Coil, and I just wanted one of those SMGs, and then I was going to start doing the Handsome Jack DLC or the Moxxie's Heist DLC, whatever way you see it. Opened these chests and didn't see a thing, so I kind of figured my luck wasn't with me. Had a airdrop that I managed to clear out pretty successfully. I got a good Theodore SMG that was helping me out quite nicely at this point, and I did get a legendary drop from this airdrop, and it was a Hellshock, which is great news because I actually like the Hellshock, and yeah, I was looking forward to using that, if I'm honest. So I was just on my arms race, messing around, killing enemies, satisfied that I got a gun that I can use for a while. This gun even wipes out Harker. I really rate the Hellshock. I was really pleased to see it. This sort of brightened my mood up. And while I was killing people, I managed to find a plasma coil by pure utter fluke. So I took that because that's going to be worth some points as well. So as you can see, Harker didn't stand a chance against the Hellshock, which is handy. wiped them out relatively quickly. Boom, done. He did give me some drops, and he was pretty kind as well, because he gave me the Beskar, which is worth points to me, and the gas mask, which is another shield that's worth points to me. So went to the extraction machine and sorted out my extraction. Obviously I was taking the health shock and everything that's worth value to me, so I ended up with 9 points and the health shock worth none, so pretty happy with that. I then started the Moxxie's heist of the Handsome Jackpot DLC, which was pretty good. I had a good sort out of my gear. I was happy with all the Mayhem 10 gear I got. I was looking for the Seeing Dead and wanting to sort of just level up and find my rhythm again. So took on all these first bosses, got to level 43, and I was lucky enough to get a Seeing Dead. It's not worth any points, but it's the class mod I wanted at this point, and everything was just starting to fall into place now. Like, I had a plasma coil, I had a Seeing Dead, I had a hell shock. It just felt like everything was fitting a little bit better, and I was enjoying playing the DLC. I was still getting world drops, not that many of them were helpful for me. I mean, I saw a Heartbreaker, but it's not worth any points because I need it from a specific drop. I found myself in Casa del Timothy, and yeah, he's got a nice pad and everything, but I was thinking about calling it a day, but I thought, no, I'll carry on for a little bit. So I managed to level up just before I met Ember. I wasn't finding any bosses along the way. Like, the highlights for the DLC isn't as exciting as what you'd think, because coming across bosses can be quite difficult. So yeah, I've got the bureaucracy bot in there because he is mega annoying. The whole back and forth is, yeah, a bit much. But yeah, there's not very many like unique enemies or bosses in this DLC, so getting the drops is kind of difficult until you've completed the game. I did see that guy, the kidnapper boss, but I don't think he has a drop, but I include him anyway. Leveled up, completing winners and losers, and which is Freddy's mission, and he eventually joins the crew. So, but I still had it'd been a while since I've had points now, and so yeah, I was back at Casa de Timothy, and the day had just it'd been a difficult day. My strategy got the better of me, and I beat myself. So I added up all my points and went through all my gear so I could sort of sum it all up and everything, and I went through my skill tree to make sure I was on the right track of what I wanted to do. Yeah, then I got to the adding up of the points. So once I added up all the points, I managed to get 52 points in total, which is a lot more than I expected, so I was quite happy with that. Adding it to the overall total comes to 135. Not really what I want, but we're on our way, which is nice. Hunt of the day goes to the Boogeyman. I mean, it was a really hard day anyway, but the Boogeyman was the gun that saved me more than once. I mean, in the hands of my clone was annihilating with it. It saved me during this Tron fight, and was just that gun that got me out of trouble, and I was in trouble a lot this day, and I just needed to find my groove and couldn't. But yeah, Boogeyman's Hunt of the day. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out my channel for more Wing It Away content. I'll be back tomorrow with day 4, but for now, it's goodbye from me.